This is a quick intro video for a 5-acre property. This is in Howell County, Missouri. This is kind of a special tract in that it has a water line already on it. Actually, the entire west side, I believe, it's similar to a city water line. In this area, they're called rural water, but it's the same concept. It's a water line that runs and you can connect into it, so you don't necessarily have to drill a well if you don't want to. You've got the water line on site. The connection fee, the last time we talked to the company, was around $500, which included them putting in the meter base and all that stuff. So really, really reasonable. The property's outlined here in red, and the rural water line runs along the west side. Basically, if you follow the cursor here, it's running directly parallel to RA Highway along the west side of the property. So it's there. Power is basically on site. If you look at this yellow line, that represents an easement road, but that's also where the power line runs. So you've got a couple poles basically right there at the north side of the property or within a couple feet. So you've got power, you've got water. Telephone is there as well. So yeah, nice deal. This is a heavily wooded property. Let's do this here. And we will try to keep this short, but this map shows the approximate boundaries as well as the approximate dimensions. About 600 feet of frontage on RA Highway here on the west side. That's a paved road that comes off Highway 60. And then you can see the other dimensions as you look at the property. But I'm going to go ahead here and turn that layer off. Okay, and now it's a little easier to really see the property. Let's zoom out and we'll have a look at this and show you how to get there. So even though the property does have direct frontage on RA Highway, there is not an existing approach. The way to access the property is you come in from the east. So, I mean, you could talk to the state highway department. RA is a state highway, so you talk to the highway department about that, about putting in an approach. Not sure about the cost. They could help you with that. It does have recorded legal access, though, coming in from the other direction. So here's Highway 60. We'll zoom out again in a minute, but here's Highway 60. You go north off of Highway 60. This is a small paved road. This is called Old Highway 60. So you go north on Old Highway 60, go about a quarter mile. You'll pass this guy's driveway, and then you'll be looking for the easement road on the left. You take that easement road in and follow that, and that goes right to the property. There may be an approach north of RA Highway, about 50 feet north of the property, but I'm not aware of any specific easement for that, so whether or not you can actually use that, we have no idea. We know you can come in from the east by taking Old Highway 60 and then taking the easement road to the property. All right, let's before we zoom way out, let's quickly zoom in. So heavily wooded property. You'll have hardwood trees. You'll have cedars and pines as well. I wonder if we can get a better look at this. Let's try. We're using the MapRight program, by the way, and you'll see this within the listing. I mean, this is just a different aerial view. I mean, that shows you that this property has not been logged for many years. We've got it's covered in big timber. It does have one kind of ready-made building site. If you follow the little cursor here on the north side of the property, there's a short driveway that comes in, goes to the south, I believe about 50 feet, 100 feet, and then there's a small opening that was cleared at some point. So that gives you a way to immediately pull off the road and kind of get situated there. Let's switch to a topo map. I mean, that's one of the other great things about this property is for the Ozarks especially, it's quite level. So this is a topo map. It's showing the rise and fall of the ground. Basically, what you need to know about topo maps: when the lines are close, a property is steep. When they're further apart, it's much flatter. So the Ozarks are known for their ups and downs. If you look at some of the adjacent areas, you'll see these areas on the upper left where the lines are close. Even not that far from the property, you've got areas where the lines are close. That's indicating a certain degree of steepness. On this tract, you can see how the lines are really spaced fairly far apart. So, I mean, this entire south end appears to be basically level. This north side, we know from being on it, slopes down very gently off of that easement road. If you can kind of picture a valley running diagonally through the property, about the way my cursor is, that's what those lines are indicating, that it kind of slopes toward the middle. So with that, this lends itself to a good location for a pond toward the middle of the property, because you'd have some of this runoff coming there to fill your pond if you want to fill your pond if you wanted to do that. But yeah, basically we're looking at a very, very usable property, almost the entire thing usable for building. The hunting in this area is phenomenal. I mean, it's well known for white-tailed deer and for turkey. And let's zoom out a little bit and we'll show you a couple other really neat features about this property. Okay. So if we were to take RA Highway to the north, just for 2 or 3 miles, this lake up here, this is called Sims Valley Lake. That is open for public use. In fact, if we put the layer on for public land, that should show up. Yes. So here's the property. The shaded area is the public use area around Sims Valley Lake, which includes the lake itself. It's got a little boat launch right there, which is really nice. You can stick a canoe in there, or a paddle boat, and it's really cool. There's huge fish in there. I mean, one of the state record bass was caught in Sims Valley Lake. And we're going to switch this now to a street map, and we'll finally zoom way out and kind of show you right where this is. Excellent, excellent location. Right here in the Ozarks. It's private, but it's actually got paved road frontage. Okay, so here's the property in the middle, that little reddish blurb. There's Sims Valley Lake, by the way. If we go to the west, 8 or 10 miles, we have Willow Springs, Missouri. If we go to the east, 8 or 10 miles, we have Mountain View, Missouri. If we go south, about 15 or 20 miles, we have West Plains, Missouri. So that's the county seat for Howell County. Now let's zoom out a little more here. So all these shaded areas that you see on the map, that's basically indicating public land. So the green shading is the Mark Twain National Forest. You're not far from that in either direction. The bluish shading, that's state conservation land. And these purple shadings that you see, that's the Jacks Fork River and the Current River. Those are the Ozark National Scenic Riverways. So you've got hundreds of thousands of acres of public land in this area of the Ozarks. People come from all over the country to hunt and fish and raft and kayak and all that stuff right in this area. So really cool. And let's zoom out and we'll show you where this is in relation to Springfield. So Springfield's the largest city in southern Missouri. That's going to be about an hour and a half west of the property. It's super easy to get to. You go to Highway 60 and go west, and all the way to Springfield. I think there's 2 stoplights in the way, so it doesn't take long to get into Springfield. South of Springfield, even though it's not labeled for some reason, Branson, so that's nearby as well. While we're here, let's just go all the way out. I mean, people love the Ozarks because of its location. You're a day's drive from a dozen different states, half a day's drive from Kansas City, from Little Rock, St. Louis, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Nashville. I mean, you can get to all of those. Topeka, well, if you want to go to Topeka, you can get to all those places in roughly half a day. As far as airports, if you're flying in to visit your property, if you're going to use this for recreation, Springfield has a really good airport. It's small, but they have a lot of direct flights, and it's inexpensive. It's on the west side of town, so you can land, you can rent a car, boom, you can be at your property, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from the airport by the time you get your car and all that good stuff. So yeah, nice tract. Pretty unusual for us to have property that has water available, the water line on site, which is fantastic. We get people asking us all the time for properties with a well, and that we seldom have those. So here's an opportunity to have to not have to mess with the well. I mean, some people prefer it, some people don't, but either way, I mean, you've got the water line here. The nice thing about being on rural water, similar to city water, if there's a power outage, you've still got water because it's gravity fed from that tower several miles away. So if you have a well, you don't have that option. With the rural water line on site, you've got water practically no matter what. So yeah, really nice tract. You can check out the website at InstantAcres.com. This has the basic property covenants in place. I mean, you can build your home or cabin. You can use it for camping. You can use it for hunting. Just a few covenants to keep it looking good. You can check those out. If you have any questions, you can email us at sales@instantacres.com, or you can call us in the office. And yeah, we'd love to talk to you about this 5 acres if it's still available. InstantAcres.com.